What's up, everyone? Sam Stewart here, back with another episode of our alumni series here on The Present Tense. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, Jason Gregowitz, former second baseman here at W&J. Grego, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you, Stu?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me here today. And honestly, sometimes I think about in these interviews how I'm going to start off, but I guess my first question for you here today is, what emotions do you have when you come look at this field anytime you come back and visit?
It's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of blood, a lot of pain, sweat throughout the years on this field. A lot of happy moments. Definitely some sad ones. Obviously, walking off it the last time was definitely emotional, but 3 dog piles on it. Nothing beats a dog pile.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite the experience, especially if you're on the bottom.
Yeah, I learned my lesson after junior year. I kind of stalled out for a little bit. Wait till I was towards the end, and then I hopped on.
That's awesome, man. And you know, I just want to get right into it, man. Like in the PAC tournament last year, and for those of you who didn't get to listen to Grego's episode on season 4 of The Present Tense, he was dealing with a lot of hip injuries. He was battling, his body was kind of breaking on him a little bit. So in the PAC tournament, I just remember I was standing right there, and you had this triple, man, and like I just saw this like emotion. Like, how did you take your play to the next level, even when you were hurting?
For me, it was just put the pain second. The team was counting on me as a captain. I tried to hide the pain as much as possible. Just trying to make sure I was level-headed. If I showed I was in pain, it could bring everyone down. So as a leader, I tried to keep a high outlook on everything. But yeah, in the PAC tournament, I knew, it could be any day, could be the last one I ever played. So I wanted to make sure I gave everything I had. I went through the regional as well. But yeah, I remember that. That was probably the most important hit of my life, I'd like to say.
Here's Westminster.
Westminster, yeah.
We were down.
Yeah, it was the first round. It was the bottom of the 9th. We were down by 1. They hit a 2-run bomb on the top of the 9th to take a 1-run lead. And I remember I was standing at second because it went over the right field fence, and I just stared at the scoreboard. And I was just looking at it, and didn't have any emotion, just stared at the scoreboard and realized what the score was. I knew I was coming up second, so I knew I had to do something. And there was 1 out. I came up with 1 out. First pitch curveball, was a little bit late on it, but it went right over the first baseman's head, and it was rolling to the corner, and I knew. I just keep going. Just put your head down and run. I don't like to show emotion, like I said.
Yeah, it was very rare for you.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. So it was, but in that moment, just kind of everything, the whole season, all the injuries were building up, and it was just, I knew I had to do something to help the team. And that triple was, I let everything out. But I remember right before I got up to the plate, I heard Coach Mountain talking to Crum, and he said, "Hey, if he gets on, we're gonna pinch run for him." Because I don't have any hips. I was coming off of major hip surgery. I was obviously going to need it again here soon. So I knew they were going to pinch run for me. So I knew if I got to third, there wouldn't be a chance to pinch run me. So I remember I screamed, I let it out, and instantly looked at him and said, "I'm not going out. I'm staying."
Yeah.
And he said, "All right." So and then Horvat hit me in. We tied it, and then he ended up coming big in the 11th as well to help us win that game. But yeah, that is one of the memories I have vividly, very, very bright in my eyes.
I mean, when you were feeling this pain, especially, I think of the PAC tournament because obviously the regional, there was some close games there, but I feel like the PAC tournament, that was the culmination of a lot of things that you've been dealing with that year. Did you feel the pain at all in your hips at that point, or was it just pure adrenaline? Because I know even you came on our baseball preview edition in season 3 of The Present Tense, and you said, "I have no hips."
Yeah.
And that was before the season even started.
Right.
So, I guess my question is, how did you keep going through that pain through the season, and then to elevate your play when you were hurting? You could barely run. I remember, you know what I mean? It's how did you elevate your play in those moments throughout the season, but also, at the culmination of everything in the PAC tournament?
I would say it was, I knew everyone was counting on me. My family, they've been there through me forever, especially through the hip surgery. There was a whole month I wore a brace that went around my stomach all the way down to my leg that I wore 24/7 for a month. I had to sleep in it. I took it off as the shower. So they basically waited on me hand and foot for a month, and then through the 8 months of recovery with PT and stuff, there was a lot of times where I said I don't think I'm ever going to play again. The pain was just so much, but they always encouraged me to keep going. It's just pain; it's going to go away. So for me, it was just to not let them down, not let my teammates down. They've been there for me, especially my roommates. They've been countless times where they just come in and they see me. I'm just laying in bed. I got Normatex on. I got Game Ready on. I got Stim on all at the same time. And they always just like, hey, we understand what you're going through. We appreciate it. Just keep going. So, and then like I said, I was just counting on my teammates were counting on me as a leader. So I just felt like I had to keep going and just never give up.
Man, that's good stuff. And I'm definitely gonna make the young guys watch this interview when I send it out tomorrow night. But for you, Grego, you were dealing with all these things, and one thing I saw is like, I noticed this. I ran out on the field, everyone was in the dog pile, and I stood up, and you were like walking over to get the MVP award, and I just saw you like just tearing up, just emotion. And what was going through your head at that point? Because I never you're not really an emotional guy. You're kind of a more on the quiet side, and I just saw like all that emotion running down your face. Like, what was happening in that moment in your mind?
Yeah, that was that's another moment I will never forget. Between my junior and senior year, I started I think like 67 games or something like that. I didn't play one game 100%. I was hurt every single game. So it was definitely a lot of pain. The last 2 years were very tough. I was taking tons of Tylenol to get through the day. Especially in the Pac tournament, I was kind of battling a cold a little bit, so I was taking a ton of like cold medicine, anti-inflammatories, Tylenol, everything like that, just to try and keep going. And like I said, it was about 8 months of PT just for the hip after the surgery. And like I said, there was times I didn't think I was ever going to play again. And I never really get recognized. I like to stay under the radar, just do my job. I don't need people like give me shout outs or anything like that. I'm really gonna do my job. I don't care. But like that was very surprise for me, I should say. I put a lot of pressure on myself because last year I was named to the all-tournament team in the Pac as well. So I was trying to do that repeat of this year. I put too much pressure on myself the first couple of bats against West Min, and then I kind of just decided, hey, just have fun. I ended up dealing with a triple, and then a sacrifice that helped up win the game. So once I realized, hey, just have fun. It was much easier, but yeah, like it came as a shock. I was like, oh man, they started going through on the list. I was like, oh man, I missed it this year. All right, so what? And then they said the senior second baseman from WJ, and that's when I knew it. And it was just, I was good. I remember I went up to Mr. Guinness, shook his hand, got the ball, and I started walking back, and I just saw all those guys. I have a picture with me walking back with everyone looking at me, and they just had the smiles on their face, and it just means a lot because I try to give them everything I had. And it was, especially for my family, it was all the emotion. Like I never cried after surgery or anything like that. Like no matter how much pain I was in or how depressed I was, it was just keep going, just next day. So that's kind of everything built up in those 2 years, kind of laid out. And I spent pretty much most of the day after getting that award on the field crying. It meant so much to me because I finally got recognized, and then just kind of all the pain, all the suffering, all the sleepless nights definitely came full circle, and it made it all worth it at the end of the day.
That's awesome. Okay, so Grego, you're talking about these emotions and stuff, and I think a lot of people at the end saw the culmination of all that hard work. But for you, there was a lot behind the scenes that people didn't see. I know you are a guy who always like to lift in the morning. I like to lift at night, but I knew you were lift in the morning guy. I know you always pushed it hard during conditioning. What were those moments like by yourself training? I mean, how important were those moments to your success?
I'd say they're huge. Like you said, I lift in the morning, so I always I got up at 6 my junior and senior year. Was in the gym by 6:30, and I worked out till about 7:30. Yeah, at that time there's very few. There's a lot of times it was just me, which is nice. There's just a couple other times, but it's just, you have to think, if you have to have someone watch you to show you that you're doing work, you don't want it. If you want it, you're gonna do it yourself. You don't need someone to sit there and like, hey, good work. If you really want something, you're gonna to go get it no matter what the situation is. I don't care if anyone's looking. I'm just going to go out and do my business and try and help the team as much as possible by getting bigger, getting stronger, trying to recover. I spent tons of hours in the training room with the Sakes, so they were a big, huge success for me.
Yeah, shout out to the Sakes, do great work always.
Jeez. God, I was there probably 4 or 5 times a week sometimes.
Really?
It was, I mean, that's on top of also being able to have the Normatex, a game ready stim in my room. So I was basically.
Oh, they gave you those?
My cousins were able to give me those. Thankfully, they had those basically pretty much every single week through the season. But yeah, so I was doing treatment 2 or 3 times a day, basically, just kind of get through everything. So basically, my routine was get up, go to the gym, come back, do stim, ice, heat, and then go get breakfast before 9 a.m. class. But yeah, it was just, if you have to have someone watch you and you have to be like, hey, watch me do this so people know you're working, you don't want it. If you actually want something, you're going to do it no matter what, no matter the pain, no matter the time of day. You're going to go out there and do it your way.
Now, Grego, my next question is, and of course I asked you this on season 4 when you came on, but I want to ask you now because you have a little more perspective. What is the biggest piece of advice you'd give to a W&J freshman starting under Coach Melton?
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. He'll be tough on you. That's what makes him a great coach. He's not going to just let you just waltz in here, kind of just do your own half-assed everything. He's going to make you do the work. Everyone has to earn something. You're never given anything in life. That was another thing I went through with the training. With the recovery as well, because my junior year I was given the opportunity to start because I earned it in the fall. But obviously there's nothing is guaranteed, so I knew I had to keep working, keep pushing myself to get back to the level I was at prior to surgery. That's why I got up all the time and went and did the work. But yeah, just give everything you got. I mean, if you don't try, that's what you're going to regret. Like if you try and you fail, so what? You tried. But if you don't try and you just kind of rolls through life like, all right, whatever. There's not gonna be much meaning to it. So always give everything you have, and just never quit on yourself. Because people can support you, but if you don't support yourself and you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna go anywhere. People can only do so much. You have to be able to take it to another level and push yourself to get better.
Wow, that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, that's like another thing with him is. If he sees that, he's going to give you a chance. Just never give up on yourself. He never gives up on you. He'll be tough on you, but he knows he's putting that little push behind you to keep going.
Yeah. And Grego, for you, my next question is, what is the biggest piece of advice you could give to someone who's coming off an injury, struggling with rehab, they're struggling, seeing the therapist, they're trying to get their body right? What advice would you give them, Grego?
Don't give up. It's gonna be tough. Like I said, there was many times when I never thought I was gonna play again. But I mean, they're trying to help you. You can do the hour of PT or whatever, but if you don't do it outside of PT, it's not gonna do as much. You gotta be able to take it back to your dorm room. You gotta take it back to your house and continue to do that. Like I said, they can only give you the tools. You have to be able to put those tools into place and continue to do it. But like I said, never give up. Like you said, I'm not much of an emotional person. I held in a lot of those emotions, and being able to talk to my roommates and teammates, like, hey, this is really killing me right now, was also a nice thing. So don't be afraid to share that, the feelings. Talking stuff out is pretty helpful too.
Well, I think a lot of times injuries, especially with like college athletes, any athlete really, it can be a thing where your mental health can be
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people, it's like, I mean, I've only been injured for a short time here, but even if you're injured for a game, it's depressing. I think people who really want it, you want to be out there. You don't want to be
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you got to talk it out. And I know, shout out to your roommates. I believe it was Henry,
Camden, and
Guy Nixon. Yeah, so shout out to those guys. I mean, and that's the cool thing is I feel like at W&J, we all have each other's back. Like
absolutely.
That's what I hope the young guys watch this, but it's like, never feel like you can't tell your teammates anything. Anything. Because, I mean, I feel like it's important. That's what it means to be on a team.
They might not be going through the same thing you are, but they might be going through something similar, and they kind of like overlap almost, so that you guys can talk about that and then grow from there.
Yeah.
As friends, roommates, teammates, and then obviously the team follows with all that.
Now my next question for you, Grego, is definitely, and I wanted to, sometimes in alumni series they don't ask these, but I really wanted to get at these today. And I asked you these when you came on season 4 again, but I'm interested once again to hear this nuanced perspective you have now. How do you want to be remembered at WNJ when they talk about Jason Greg Owens? When someone mentions your name, what do you want them to talk about?
I'm going to say the same thing I said on the last time I was on. I just want to be remembered as a ball player who gave everything I had to give. I think that went pretty reflected pretty much. Like I said, I've been hurt the last 2 years. My junior year, I had torn labrum in my hip towards the end of the season, and I tore the labrum in my hip on the left side. I also broke my thumb in the middle of the season. Finished out that game, and then junior year, I was coming off the surgery on the right side. I need surgery on the left side, and it was just like, it was tough because as soon as I came back, I was cleared to practice in January. I tore a core muscle, which I actually had repaired in July, which I'm still feeling the effects of right now. But just give everything you got. That's what I want. Like, hustle in and out on the field every time. And then right after the PAC championship, right after getting the most outstanding player, like, the emotions were very high. It was a very high point in my life. And then 2 days later, batting we were doing live sets. I wore about upper 80s fastball right off the hand. So it was pretty tough. It swelled up. I couldn't really move it a whole lot. So the whole ride down to the regionals, I had game ready on my hand. And then after the second game at regionals, we lost. So we had to play an elimination game basically in about 95-degree heat. I ended up getting pulled from that game I think the 7th or 8th or something like that, just because I had heat exhaustion. My face was purple. I was dry heaving. I was trying to give everything I got. Like, I didn't want to leave. I was like, I'm not staying because it's an elimination game in the regional. Like, this could be the last game I ever play. So I didn't want to go out. But obviously the SAG said, for your physical health, you need to come out. So yeah, I came out, cooled off. But I gave everything I had. I remember after that game, we had to wake up again at 7. So, like, we didn't get back to the hotel until around 11, I think. I filled up game ready with ice. I actually slept with game ready on my hand all night. Woke up at like 6, went to breakfast, and we were ready to go for the next day. So just continue to just put the pain behind me, because as a senior, you never know, could this be it? So I just kept giving it everything I had. I knew I could kind of recover afterwards. So just kind of everything was already pretty messed up. So it's like, hey, it can't get any worse. Just give everything you got. So, but I don't have any regrets with that. My hand still does hurt. My hip still hurt. My core still hurts. But I feel like if I gave up and I just kind of rolled over on it, there'd be something I regret. Where I don't, I gave everything I had. So it's definitely rewarding, but it also does kind of still stink because it still have the pain. But it was amazing 4 years, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. I appreciate that. My next question is one we've added to the present tense since you last joined. And let me set the scenario for you, Grego. You're sitting in a dorm room, sitting on the bed, and you see a kid walk into the dorm room. It's a freshman dorm. He's got a suitcase in his hand. It's you, Grego, and you're walking into your first day of college. What advice do you give that kid?
Go buy some Tylenol. Jeez, the amount of Tylenol I had, oh my God. My stomach is definitely messed up for that. But no, just enjoy every moment. It's the little details that you don't think you remember is what you miss the most. Like getting up for Seaside in the morning.
I agree. Working the football games, tennis bubble.
Yeah, absolutely. Like tennis bubble, oh my God.
We didn't even do it this year, bro.
It was terrible.
Because you retired.
It's terrible 8 hours. It is painful. It is long.
I have some
it's
memories.
Cold, but the memories are so much fun. Just being around your team, enjoy everything. Don't take anything for granted too. But just enjoy everything. Because when you like I said, when it's all over, that's the little details is what you're gonna remember the most out of everything.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And another question we've added is, what is one trait that it takes to be successful in baseball?
Work ethic. I mean, you can have the talent and not try, but what's going to put you above and beyond everyone else is the effort. Like Coach Bubash always said, it doesn't take you have to have effort, because like talent can only take you so far. That's something he really preached to me. He was a huge help for me. He completely turned me around as a defender as well. So a big thank you to him. But yeah, it's just, just keep working. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your teammates. Be coachable as well. You don't know everything. Like every day you're learning something new. Don't be afraid to try new things, to try and improve your level of play, and just be coachable, because the coaches have more experience than you by years and years.
Yeah.
So they
Coach
know.
Mountain's been coaching as long as I've been alive.
I think this is like year 21 or 22 for him. So he knows what'll work. And don't be afraid to try. Like, you don't know everything, so give it a try. If it doesn't work for you, all right, you tried it. But if you never try it, you never know if it would have helped you improve. So just put in effort. Level-headed. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just stay level-headed and just continue to do your stuff.
What fueled you, Grego?
Motivation and like the opportunity to get better every day. Just be 1% better than I was the day before. It doesn't matter if that was in the classroom, in the gym, on the field. Just get better, because if you're not getting better, you're basically saying I'm satisfied with where I'm at right now, and you're not going to go any better. You're not going to be any better. Or if you say, hey, I want to be better, 1% better, just a little bit, you're going to continue to push yourself to new heights, and new opportunities are going to come based off of that work you put in. So yeah, just keep trying. Never give up.
Man, that's good stuff. And thank you for all these answers, Grego. I do want to get into some fun stuff, though. We've done a lot of deep stuff here. And another question we've added since you came on the present tense last is, if you had a free Saturday with no plans, no commitments, and money wasn't an issue, what would you be doing with this free Saturday?
That's a good question.
I can go through examples if you want, if you need like help. But I feel like you got something in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, like I always work. I'm always working. Like I can't sit still.
You'd probably say you should go chop wood, bro.
Yeah, probably something like that. Working my cousins. He's starting a worm farm.
Worm farm?
Yeah, so I know a lot more about worms than I ever
like
thought.
for fishing?
Yeah, fishing, and then for the fertilizer as well.
Yeah.
So he's been teaching me a lot about that. So just kind of learning, and like I said, just getting 1% better. Like I'm learning more about worms than I ever thought, but I'm 1% better than I was the day before. So I don't really like sitting. I can't sit much. I'm very active.
I'm surprised you're not like doing push-ups right now during your interview.
You still haven't been cleared for that yet.
Okay.
But we're getting there. But yeah, I'd just be kind of working around the yard, enjoying. I mean, like just looking out here.
It's a beautiful day today, man.
Yeah,
Western PA. Hey, it's not gonna be beautiful in about 2 months, I would say, because I don't like the snow. But hey, man, it's got the trees turning color. It's a nice day outside, man.
It's
Western PA, essential Western PA right here.
Nothing beats this view of Ross Memorial. It's a beautiful venue.
It is.
Very grateful to have the opportunity to play here for 4 years.
May you come hang out here. You come practice with us. Once you get clear, you come to the ball around a little bit.
Yeah.
Come take a few swings, show these young guys how to do it.
Yeah. I can show you how to do a sack bunt. I'm not the greatest.
Hey, Grego led the nation D3 in sack bunts for a while.
I was up there for a while. Yeah, that was another thing. Is like my junior year, I think I finished 11th in the nation for sack bunts, and I was the 3rd toughest to strike out in the country. Where my freshman and sophomore year, I was literally the easiest. And, like I came up to the plate, all right, this kid's striking out. Can we just get over with? But like again, just continuing to push yourself. I was going to different coaches, trying to learn different things to try, and just became more of a contact hitter. And I only struck out, I think, once out of 94 at bats my junior year. Obviously, it changed my senior year because I spent 6 months away from the game. So like obviously, going to see live pitching was not easy the first couple of times. My timing was off, so I mean, it was an adjustment. But like again, you just got to be level-headed. Can't get too high, can't get too low. Just continue to do your stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's great advice. All right, so you'd be doing some kind of work. Some kind of work. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, Grego, and I know you're a big gym guy, so you don't play the music pumping, but if you had to listen to one artist for the rest of your life, you could only listen to that artist. Who would it be?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't really have like a artist I like follow.
Okay.
I kind of listen to whatever's on the radio.
Okay.
It's like a mixture. But I don't like necessarily follow music.
Okay.
I'll listen to a bunch of stuff. Basically, when I listen, I'm in the gym. I'm kind of zoned out anyway, so I'm not really paying attention. Yeah, I don't really. I wouldn't say I have specific artists that I like follow that if I had to listen to all the
We did like your walk-up song, too, Mr.
Yes.
Steak. That was a great one. Awesome.
Yeah, it was. That was also another thing I miss. I just missed the guy screaming that in the dugout. Ooh, Mr. Steak. It is the stupidest walk-up you'll ever hear, but it was more of a personal note, personal reminder. Just my teammates, my classmates, the 8 of us, just the times we had. That nickname kind of came up from playing video games, and I'm terrible at video games. So they're like, "Oh God, this guy's in here again." But it was, but yeah, like I had to do it both years. It was cool that everyone would like kind of sing along with it. Just kind of another thing, just brought the team together. I think for a couple of seconds, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. Now, my next question is, if you had to say one movie that's your favorite and why, and I feel like it's gonna be a baseball movie, but I'm not necessarily saying it is, but I feel like it's gonna be a baseball movie. So I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Favorite movie?
I guess I asked favorite baseball movie too, because I'm really interested in what you have to say about
So,
that.
like, movie, I like all the Marvel movies.
Okay.
I really like Black Panther. I thought that was really
That's my favorite too.
I really like that.
Although a couple of the recent ones, you see Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, I wasn't too big on that.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
New Doctor Strange was good.
I wasn't a huge Doctor Strange fan.
Really?
If I had to
Okay.
pick
Alright.
baseball, I like Captain America. I like
Captain
those.
America. I mean, yeah,
Those
that's
are
kind of like
good.
the first era.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
gotcha.
For a baseball movie, I have to say Field of Dreams.
Yeah,
Just
that's that too.
because
Yeah.
It's like the main idea is basically just bringing people together. That's what baseball has done for over 100 years. It's brought families, communities together. We have a brotherhood here based off of baseball. And it's just kind of playing in the backyard, having fun, and then kind of going back to your roots, like playing catch with your dad or a family member.
I mean, I cry every time I watch
Yeah,
it.
it's you get all the emotions.
The James
because-
Earl Jones speech.
because, it's very personal, especially as long as you play baseball. If you play for a long time, you realize and appreciate the roots that got you started.
So thank you for coming on today. You know, my quote of the day today comes from a person. I didn't know if they gave me permission to use this or not, but I heard him say it the other weekend, and it's, "I only regret the pitches I didn't swing at." So that's the quote of the day for today.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a good one. You can mean anything in sports and in life as well, because if you never try, you never know what could happen. I like the Wayne Gretzky one where you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you don't try, you're never going to know. You're never going to have that chance for success. Where if you try, the worst they can say is no, or you fail. Okay, so what? Back to the drawing board, try something else. But if you never try, in life, at work, on the field, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to just give it a try. Like, the worst thing that can happen is you fail. Okay, so what? I mean, that's life. Life's not always going to be pretty. It's going to have drawbacks. But just keep giving it everything you got. Try it. So what if it doesn't go your way? You can learn from that failure and go ahead and kind of make a new attempt at trying to get successful at something else. But like, just try. Never don't try. Never give up on yourself. Never stop believing in yourself. Because if you do that, it's going to be tough.
It's great advice. I hope everyone can take something from this episode. So it's very, very informative. Greg, I always enjoyed watching you play. I'm always so enthusiastic to talk to you, so I appreciate you coming on today.
Appreciate it, Stu.
Thank you, always, and I'm excited to see what you do in the future.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what you guys can get done here on the field this year. I'll definitely come up and watch some games. I'll definitely have my iPad at work. Hopefully I don't get fired for watching the games, but yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys can do. We got a good group of guys. I'm very excited to see what can happen with the team and then for you as well. So
thanks, I appreciate it,
future
man.
is very bright in height, and this show is going through the roof.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
I remember when you came to me at Comps with this idea, just as the show in general, and then it's gone skyrocketed from there. It's unbelievable. A lot of people talk about it. You got merchandise, everything. Everybody loves this, so I'm very happy for you. Excited to see where this show takes you.
Well, thanks, Greg. I really appreciate it. Live from Ross Memorial Park. Hope everyone has a great weekend, enjoys their fall break. We'll be back on Wednesday with Women's Basketball Preview Edition. Until then, everyone have a good day. Remember to live in the present tense.